I need people, if you are a parent who was like touched out by your children, I do not want to see you in the comments. If you are someone with any kind of neurodivergency and it manifests or shows up as you not liking touch or people touching you, I do not want to see you in the comments. Okay? But I feel like I'm dying from like touch starvation, y'all. I don't get hugs. I don't know. I feel like if I were to get the kind of hug that I fucking really want, I would crumble into pieces. I don't. How do you deal with that? I really like need to be like touched. And I know someone's gonna say like, okay, go to the salon and get your hair done, or get a massage, or get your nails done, right? So someone can hold your hand. None of those people love me. None of those services love me. Right? But I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling with like, I don't get hugs. That shit is, it could be like maybe a hello, whatever, maybe. But it's not enough. I don't know how how am I gonna go the rest of my life like this? I think that's really hard. I'm just really struggling. I'm really struggling. Like I spent like last night just going like this. Like 20 minutes. I'm just, if anyone else is struggling, what are you doing?
Oh, how dramatic it must be for people who are touch-starved and long for a hug, like it's the key to life. How heartbreaking it must be to have this situation and long for loving embraces that never seem to come your way. Sadness that comes from having to endure polite hellos when what's really wanted is a real hug. A move that says a lot without saying a word. Unfortunately, where can someone find comfort in this empty, poor landscape? Some people might suggest going to a salon or spa as a safe place to escape the pain of being alone. The skilled hands of the staff there might help you feel better for a short time. Deep down, though, we know that the love these short-lived encounters offer isn't even close to the real warmth we so badly need. Because of this, the struggle continues, and the longing for real connection fills our lives. We spend our nights alone, thinking and longing for touch that never comes. The pain of being alone eats away at our souls.
Inappropriate for a 30-year-old man to date a 23-year-old because the 23-year-old's prefrontal cortex is not yet fully developed. And that's the part of the brain that mitigates risk and says, is this safe? So wait, let me get this straight. Y'all would rather have your 22-year-old baby girl go off and date sweaty, slimy, greasy frat boys in college whose brains are also not fully developed, than for her to find a high-value prospect in a man, say, 29 or 30 years old who his brain is fully developed, has a good career, and could provide her safety and provision, and maybe is a little wiser than kids her age. Maybe I'm a little old school, but this just doesn't add up to.
I got this text from a man I dated 4 years ago, and this is why I believe in sprinkle sprinkle, okay? This man and I dated for 3 months in 2020. We were seeing each other every day. It was like serious dating. After 3 months, I said I wanted to be in a relationship. He said he didn't. We did everything 50-50. He never paid for anything. So here's what he said. Hey, I hope you're good. I got some work as a writer, which is a surprise because I never imagined doing that. Was actually thinking it was you that gave me the confidence to pursue it and wanted to say thanks for the encouragement encouragement and support with my very first stories. Means a lot, and I am grateful for your kind words and time. If you want a copy of my new book, let me know. This man is literally a published author because of me. And like, I'm not exaggerating. When we were dating, he had no confidence in his writing. He showed some of his short stories to me, and I convinced him to start publishing small books of his short stories. They were very well received, and now he has a book and he's making money from being a writer. Because of our 3-month situationship, he now has a writing career, and I was left with emotional trauma. And this is just the power that we have as women. What I added to his life is inquantifiable. And what did he add to my life? Nothing, to be honest. I mean, the D was good, but I wasn't left with anything meaningful. And this is why I will never again invest the amount of time and care I invested into that man and other men like that without getting something tangible in return. Because I'm supporting you in ways that money can't buy. What the fuck am I getting in return?
I am going to pass over some dating knowledge to you guys, and I wish somebody had told me the hard truth instead of learning the hard way, but here we go. For the first 3 months, just take everything with a grain of salt, okay? Enjoy yourself. Consistency within action is key after the 3 months. Do not overshare. Not about your red flags, not about your shitty ex. Just observe and listen. Notice how he speaks about his ex and how he looks at women and speaks about women as a whole. Okay, this one might piss a few people off, but just trust me, okay? Men are not the brightest, but don't underestimate them either. Until he makes things official and calls you his girlfriend, you're not his girlfriend. In his brain, you're not his girlfriend, okay? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how intense this situationship is. It doesn't matter if you're meeting the family. It doesn't matter if you guys are buying each other expensive gifts and acting like a relationship. In his brain, it's still not a relationship. Honestly, my favorite, okay? I'm sorry if this offends some people, but you are either the rule or the exception. And the faster you figure out which you are, the easier it will be for you to evaluate the situation and move accordingly. Now, my little tip is if you have to think about whether you're the exception, you're not the exception. Lucky last, but I want you guys to stay with me. I have experienced being single where I genuinely thought I was never going to really find anyone, and all that part is easier than sustaining and keeping a relationship and marriage. Honestly, it's so hard. So the reason it's worth it is so worth it, but it's so hard. And all I have to say is be picky. Be picky with who you choose to spend the rest of your life with, whether that's marriage, whether that's just a lifelong commitment. Be picky, because if your values don't align, you need to find someone else. Make sure that you are both on the same page. And that's it.
Date the nerdy guy.
I am very happy that my boyfriend is not a sports guy. I cannot imagine having to sit and watch a football, baseball, basketball game every Sunday, Thursday, I don't know, whenever they're on. Because I myself am not a sports person. I could appreciate it, but I don't want to sit down and watch it. So when I was, single and looking for somebody, I always just kind of assumed, okay, well, I guess, majority of guys out there are probably going to be sports people, so I'll just have to, deal with it. Date the nerdy guy. My boyfriend is into anime, into video games. He collects Transformers. And younger me would have been like, ew, gross. Blah. Adult me, 29-year-old me, is thankful for that. He is much more attentive. This man will do anything for me. He loves me dearly. He tells me how pretty I am, how much he appreciates me and loves me every single day. My friend and I have been together for about 1 year and 3 months. I understand there are exceptions. Not everybody is great, but I say give him a chance because I'm pretty happy.
You know what I just realized about relationships? A guy starts off by putting 100% in the beginning of a relationship. And over time, that will slowly go down from like 100 to 95 to 90 to 80 to 85. And then you notice, and you only notice when it goes down to like 75 or 80%, and then you say something. And then when you say something, he puts back 5% effort and you're content. You're like, okay, he put in some effort, but it never goes back up to 100 or 90 or 95. It just goes from like that 75 to 80. And then it goes back down again to like 70. And then it goes down to 60. Long story short, it'll just go back down to 10%. When it started at 100, I'm not saying all men do this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as a woman, I feel like we invest more time and put in more effort as the relationship goes on because it becomes more and more serious. Moral of the story, if you're dating a guy and he starts off at 100% effort and you're noticing over time it's slowly going down, I just think that
Today I walked away from my marriage and I left my husband. Not everything you see on social media is the truth, and it's been a really long, hard battle of trying to make things work, and I can only take so much emotional and verbal and psychological neglect. I have to start thinking about my future child and protecting her as well. And obviously I'm really upset. I asked for prayers and I asked for peace and kindness.
Oh, what an exciting story of modern love and brave choices. It's so amazing to hear that you bravely left your marriage. It shows how different real life is from how things look on social media. It's truly impressive to be able to handle such emotional, verbal, and mental abuse, and still find the strength to put your future child's health first. Such strength. The interesting twist, though, is that you paid $30,000 to be a single mom, and you had 3 eggs stored before you met your husband. It's clear that you were always ready to be a parent by yourself. After all, who needs a partner when you have a frozen backup plan? Your dedication is touching when you say you married him because you loved him so much.
Women tend to prefer older men. Did you know that the average age gap in a heterosexual couple is 2 to 4 years? And in some cultures, it's even greater than that. So what is the attraction behind older men? Why do women tend to find that so incredibly appealing? Well, it's true what they say. Women do tend to mature emotionally a little bit faster than men. And when a guy is older and has reached that emotional maturity, it is really becoming. We feel like we can talk to him about many more things on a deeper level. We feel like he has the emotional maturity to let go of any resentment or judgment, that he can actually take in what we're saying. He also tends to be way more stable, way more established, whether in life, in career, and also in confidence. And chances are going to be higher that he's more willing, able, and available to make that kind of commitment that a lot of women are looking for in terms of a relationship.
What do you mean he refollowed every single girl I made him unfollow 2 afters after we broke up? What do you mean? Like, you couldn't even wait a week or so? You already have your backup options, and this is the reason why men move on so quickly. Have you noticed how guys, like when you break up, they move on so fast? Like, they don't even have a mourning period. You don't see them posting quotes in their stories that are like, you were everything, now I lost you, now I need to find myself again. Now, girls always post shit like this, okay? We are really freaking delusional when we break up with someone. We're like, okay, we're on a self-healing journey right now, and we're going through all these stages, and this is why we're emotionally more mature sometimes, because we actually feel the emotion, whereas the guy, he just pushes it down because he has so many options. And that is why you are so right for making him unfollow these girls or calling him out on like why he is objectifying women and why he's like following so many people and texting with so many people. And he says, this is just my friend, we met on a dating app, but we're just friends and stuff. No, you're keeping her as an option, my man. You're keeping her as an option, and it's not cool. And this shows refollowing these people and like always keeping them on the bench, that it's giving an ick, right? It's a little bit ick.
Much.
So tired of being a strong, independent woman girl boss. I want to pretend like I don't know how to put air in my tires, pretend like I don't know that there's no such thing as premium air, and I never want to touch another doorknob. I want to be in my soft girl era.